Okay, we're going to get started. I want to start by saying thank you all for joining us today out of the 2023 Wisconsin Racing Unveiling. We're really excited to have you here today to show off all of our really hard work that we've been working on for the past basically year. So to get started, I'm going to start with an introduction of our management team. I'm first going to call up myself. Because I'm giving this presentation. My name is Ria. I'm our operations manager here at Wisconsin Racing. In the summer, I'll be heading to Tesla to do my internship there. Next, I'm going to call up Amir, who is our team principal. Amir will be heading also on his internship. I'm behind on my slides. Apologies, everybody. Jeez. To H3X. Next, I'm going to call up Isaac, who is our mechanical tech director. He's going to be graduating this year, actually. He's heading to SpaceX full-time. Next, we're bringing up Christian, who is our electrical tech director, and he's heading to Last Lock as well. Not as well, but yeah. Okay, this is our management team. The four of us make up our management team. Next, I'm going to call up our leaders, just so you get a little bit of an introduction into the people who basically run the ship around Wisconsin Racing. Our first leader is actually not even here today. He was unfortunately not able to make it, but he is spending his summer at Mala. Next, we have Sam. Sam is heading to Garrett. Next, we have Natalie, who's heading to Stellantis. And her co-partner is Josh, who's heading to Mercury. Next, we have Alex, who is on his way up, and he is heading to Milwaukee Tool. I'll give you a moment. And Alex's co-partner is Calvin. So just kidding, Calvin is coming up here, and he's from Last Lock, or going to Last Lock, apologies. After Calvin, we have Pratham. Pratham is heading to Milwaukee Tool as well. Next is Sean. Sean is heading to Amazon. After Sean, we have Eric. Eric is heading to Tesla. Michael is heading to Last Lock. Josh is heading to Last Lock as well. Zach is heading to Extreme Engineering Solutions. Logan is heading to Oshkosh. Shrey is heading to Yaswasaka. I can't say that word, so apologies to everyone. Yaskawa. They tried to coach me, I promise. Next, we have Surya, who's heading to Rivian. A little bit of an easier one to say. Cassie's heading to Mercury, who's not here today as well, unfortunately. And of course, her co-partner is Rachel, who's going to med school. This is our whole leadership team. We want to bring them up here just to give them a congratulations and a thank you for all the hard work that they've done leading our team to this wonderful success that we have to show you here today. Thank you, guys. Now I'm going to pass off this microphone to Amir, our team principal, once again, so he can walk you through a little bit of who we are.
Hi, everyone. First of all, I want to thank everyone for coming out, friends, family, sponsors, etc. And just want to start by kind of explaining who we are because, frankly, like my parents, many of you may be wondering why everyone that came up here and everyone who's standing in the back spends so much time on this team. And spending time outside of work and 24 hours in the shop. So yeah, a little bit about who we are. We are a student program out of the College of Engineering, and every year we design and build 2 formula-style race cars from the ground up. We have 1 combustion car and 1 electric car, and they both compete at separate competitions at the end of the year in Michigan. And these competitions bring together a group of international universities all in one place to compete for a world championship. Next slide. A little bit about how this team started. way back. The series originally started, and it was called the Mini Indy Series in 1979. And then very shortly after that, it was adopted into FSAE, or Formula SAE, in the 1980s. And that was when it brought on a whole international community. So originally, it was just 13 universities in the US, and they all had wooden cars, which is very different than what we have nowadays. And then, sorry, go back one slide. Sorry. The origin of our team, Wisconsin Racing, was in 1984, and we've been a part of this competition ever since, and remain one of the oldest teams to date. And that's one of our early cars shown there. Next slide. Very quickly, we became a team that succeeded in competition and became a very internationally renowned FSAE team. In 2007, you can see the design finalists on the right there, and this was the vehicle that we competed with on the international stage in Germany, as well as becoming world champions here at home. This was the first time we did this. Next slide. Some other accomplishments following that, we consistently placed in the top 10 teams throughout years after 2007 and even before that. But then in 2017, we officially split into two teams, where we had a electric car and a combustion car. And we were one of the first teams at competition that had student designed and built in-hub motors. And that year we won design because of the amazing work that that team put in. Very quickly, also around that time, we were one of the first teams that had a carbon fiber monocoque. And we've continued making monocoques for both of the vehicles ever since then. Next slide. So a little bit about the present day today. We continuously push those innovation boundaries. This last year, took a big leap in the midst of COVID, where everything was limited and we barely had any time to work in the shop, had to wear full face masks, which you'll see some in our video. But we took that time online to design the very first full monocoque, and also with a completely brand new team that had never gone to competition with the electric car, we decided we wanted to re-spark bringing our car to the electric competition. And this was a lot of work that we decided to put in. And did we pull it off? Well, we'll see in the video. But yeah, next slide. And this is a little bit video showing last year and this year. Starting the 2022 season, what I can say we really took out of it was we learned a lot. It was the first time we made a combustion car full monocoque, and it was the first time we were running our electric car in 3 years of competition with a brand new team of lead engineers. It was really ballsy. Was it a lot? Yeah. Did we pull it off? No, not really.
Problem with the car last year was definitely starting. I think many people are sick of me saying cranking over and over and over again.
Reliability across all systems. We were slow to get the car manufactured and assembled.
The car and the car had issues with getting started.
I'd say the biggest problem on the car last year was the lack of reliability and lack of testing, which I'm sure everyone else has said.
Getting it to run, I mean, four-wheel drive, well, two-wheel drive even, but yeah, getting everything to work together properly.
Getting the car to drive, it was a tough year for us, but I think we got
we have some good things in the future.
The biggest problem we had with the car last year was just the timeline and getting it together. Ultimately, things came together too late, and we got driving too late, and didn't get enough testing time on track before competition.
Coming right back from comp, I think we all knew what we had to do. And basically, as soon as we got back to Madison, we just started testing the crap out of the car.
The biggest change that we've kind of made this year, I would say, has been trying to get designs done earlier.
Integrating earlier, testing earlier, and making sure that all the pieces work separately before we put them in the car so that we have less debugging in the car.
Making sure that we're on top of our timelines, and with all that, we have the engineering skills to create the best car in this competition. It's just about making sure that we can put it on the road and test it enough so that by the time we get to competition, it's ready to go.
So this is our new generation chassis that the e-car is seeing for the first time. So getting the electric powertrain fully integrated into the new generation monocoque, aero package, suspension.
This year I'm looking forward to having a completed battery pack that works. All we did really this year is integrate the old battery into the new battery with the new chassis. What I'm really looking forward to is thinking about the future design of our battery.
We're doing a brand new powertrain in the combustion car after about 5 years of the old package. So new engine as well as basically new parts across the board.
We're going with more of a tried true, just regular pushrod suspension, no roll heave, just regular dampers, and anti-roll setup. And it's probably its main kind of cool piece to it is it's all packaged underneath the aero shield for the front of the car, and the rear is just light dampers. So front's laid down.
On the electrical side, I think did a really good job of freezing our designs when they were done, ordering them immediately so that we could have designs in our hands a lot faster so they could begin that validation process a lot sooner. And I think it's had pretty good results so far.
what I really like about the team is the people. I haven't met anyone that I enjoy working with more, that has the same goals as me, work as hard, if not harder than me. We're often up all hours of the night to build an amazing car. And really, some of the best friendships that I've made have been in this team. Yeah.
Hands down, my favorite part of Formula is every day we get to come into the office and learn something new that you've never done before, whether it be just about your own system or just through conversations with other people in the office, learning about various aspects of the car.
My favorite part of Formula is probably the people. I think we're a really great group of people that are super smart, and we really wouldn't be where we are today, obviously, without our team. So
My favorite part about Formula is taking an application and using the engineering process to reverse engineer how that happened, and use physics and science and math to get to that solution.
Seeing the car drive for the first time after putting in countless hours is always really satisfying.
I'd say I'm looking forward to winning this year.
I want to win this year.
Hell yeah.
Let's go.
So now that you've seen a glimpse at the hard work and the laughs that have gone into building these cars, without further ado, we're going to unveil the 2023 C and 2023 E cars. So the management team and graduating students, please come up. So yeah, just kind of concluding, I want to thank everyone for coming out and for taking the time to listen to what we have and for lending all of your kids and friends and family to our team to complete these amazing cars. So please feel free to come down and take pictures. Thank you very much. What? Oh, sorry. We have a couple of technical presentations. I got ahead of ourselves. So first, I would love to invite Christian Schuster up to talk a little bit about the electric car. Sorry about
it. I mean, if I don't have to, get all nervous and give a presentation, I mean, that's also a win. But yeah, here we are. Howdy there, folks. How are we all doing tonight? Heck yeah. Dude, I say that every single alt-team meeting, and I get, zero energy back from everyone. I guess, classes are hard and stuff like that, but, I appreciate you guys. You guys ever... Yeah, you guys ever build a race car before? Want to come down? We always... It's a lot of work. We can use some hands, man. That'd be great. But, all right. Yeah, so I am in charge of the electrical systems on both cars. And, it's kind of been a crazy experience to be the electrical technical director. The pedigree of our electrical side of our two race cars is honestly insane. As tech director, I really feel that I've kind of been standing on the shoulders of giants of all those that came before, where they engineered these crazy systems. We're the only team that has all these custom motor controllers, and I know from all the electrical tech directors that came before me, their motto was, why would we buy that? We can do it ourselves. which meant that we got to see these great feats of electrical engineering. And the problem and the thing we always ran up against was time. We always, on the electrical side of this and on electrical cars, seem to run out of time to test and validate these systems, even though they are these marvels. And so this year I set out to just try to make as much time as possible. So if we can go to the next slide, we can see the video is still in my thunder, but that's the electrical vehicle driving last week. What? That's that car. Sorry, yes, that car right there. And that's the earliest that car has ever driven in the team's history in terms of the timelines. And so it's been a great. It's been a crazy experience to make that thing work. I remember getting it back from competition in the fall and just finding problem after problem, but finally got that to work, and then we have this car working, so that's fantastic. And so if that wasn't a tall enough order, on the combustion side of things, we're getting a new engine, and I remember the powertrain leads telling me, hey, we're getting a new engine. And I'm like, that sounds like a lot of work for you guys. We'll have fun. Then they were like, well, you see, we're going to need a dynamometer and a full electrical data acquisition system and code to run all of that. And I was like, oh, let's get her done. And so it's kind of been a crazy experience to, not only be building electrical systems of 2 cars, but also to be building out electrical dynamometer. And so the 2 controls leads have also gone crazy. I also want to shout out Surya making new engine work. We do our engine controls custom in-house, which is another thing you don't really see out of a lot of teams. And he had to rewrite all that code because it doesn't work anymore, right? Like, you have a new engine, you got to rewrite the whole thing. And as someone that also has done a little bit with the controls of powertrains, it's not easy. So I want to give him props for that. But then if we go, yeah. And then if we go into the final slide, I just kind of threw in these are kind of all the designs that are kind of new on our vehicle this year. And I'm not going to point them all out to you guys because I've learned from over this last year, whenever I try to talk to people about circuit boards, they stop listening. So I'm just going to let you look at them and be like, wow, that's a lot of little tiny electrical bits that look cool. And they are. So that's pretty sick. And then, as you can see, we have our code right there that works. You need a great team. You need some hard work. You also need just a little bit of luck, maybe a lot of luck. But we really, get her going. So thank you, everyone. I appreciate it. I appreciate your time.
Thanks, everyone, for coming. I'm going to talk a little bit about the mechanical systems on both of the cars. And before we even move on to any slides, I just want to say you may see some physical discrepancies between the 2 chassis and the 2 vehicles at this moment. That's because we have made some crazy, amazing achievements within our aerodynamics package and the aerodynamics testing that we are able to do on this car. So we really had to pull one car ahead, at least aerodynamically and looks-wise, of the other one. But, do not fret. Neither of them have their powertrains in, although they both are capable of being put in at the moment. And they will both continue to drive or have a first drive in the very few next coming weeks. So to start, I'm going to go through some of the different mechanical systems on the car, just call out some of the really cool stuff that we get to do. So just to start, we are engineers, and this is a learning experience. So one of the really cool things we get to do is create engineering graphics and drawings. These are really high-level drawings of the combustion car, just showing off a couple little snippets of different systems, and I'll go call out some specifics as we come through. But currently, as they sit before you, you can't see through them, so that's a nice benefit here, is that you can. So aerodynamics. Obviously, these cars kind of look crazy. They have lots of wings and stuff on them. And like I said, the e-car here is in its full aerodynamics trim, literally all of its components. And that's because not only have our engineers put in a huge amount of time running simulations and what's called computational fluid dynamics in order to enhance the vehicle's driving capability. But we have got something literally done crazy within the last 2 days that was included just at the end of that unveiling video, and that is a full car wind tunnel testing. So literally this morning, this car was in a wind tunnel where we had it stationary and we're blowing air over it, measuring forces, visualizing the airflow, as you can see here in a simulation, but simulations only get you so far. So we got to do that on like real world testing and actually see how the aerodynamics of this car perform. That is a crazy achievement that I do want to shout out the aero team, all of the people that work on the aerodynamics of the car for, because not only do the designs have to be done, but they have to be made and installed by now. Yes, please. Yeah, see the next slide. So chassis. So the chassis is the main body of the car, as well as the vehicle controls and suspension, everything that actually makes the car be able to handle and go around corners. So these two cars sport full carbon fiber aluminum honeycomb composite chassis. They also have, new for this year and specifically super cool, high carbon content 3D printed attachment points inside of the monocoque where we bolt through, where our high load comes in. And then you can see a lot of, and that's the picture down on the right. As we look out throughout the slide, you can see the suspension actuation system as well as our custom anti-roll system that is all packaged underneath in the front and on top in the rear, or underneath the aero shield in the front, excuse me. You can see some really cool graphics and renderings here. These systems are on the cars and we can show them off afterwards. Feel free to come up and take a closer look at some of this stuff, as well as the full custom steering wheel that you can see in the upper right, carbon fiber and LCD integrated screen. And then the vehicle is controlled via the custom and student designed steering system, as well as pedal box, which you can see rendered there. Some of these components are not actually here in person yet either. They're in still works in progress, but lots of the stuff you can see when we come up and take a look at the cars a little bit. Next slide, please. As Christian mentioned, we did have a full new powertrain. We actually didn't really discuss exactly what different things, which one of us we're going to cover in this presentation. So I actually didn't have anything on the EV powertrain, but I'll cover it offhand. That's fine. So our new combustion engine you can see here, it's a twin-cylinder Yamaha CP2, and that comes along with it a fully student-designed and fabricated intake system, which you can see rendered, as well as oil processing system and oiling system, and full custom exhaust for the combustion car as well. And there's no slide for this, but I will talk about high level quick of the EV powertrain, which is a fully student designed and built motors from the ground up, as well as battery pack, high voltage inverters. The battery pack, we buy our own cells and put them together in an arrangement that allows us to power the car, something that is very rare amongst FSAE teams, not to mention doing the actual controlling of that DC power and converting it into AC for the motors. So yeah, so hard. Christian talked about it for sure. And on that note, the EV motors, no one else in the US actually designs and fabricates their own motors within the FSAE space. So we continue to strive ahead with that. And although this car is currently already driven, as Christian has shown, in its two-wheel-ish drive configuration, we are targeting a 1 week out drive of all four wheels on this car that stands here before you. So next slide, please. And finally, I do want to just talk about a little bit about the team as a whole and what Wisconsin racing means to me. As one of the few graduating seniors, which is a good thing for the team because it means more people stay on and keep working on things. I just wanted to, thank everyone that's here today, the family, the friends, the sponsors who make this possible for us as students, learning and developing amazing friendships. So over my 5-ish years here on this team, you can see a number of cars. These are all ones that I specifically worked on, as well as the collective team all around the cars. It's been a crazy journey to get to work on these vehicles and learn about engineering and really become a full engineer. So I just want to say thank you for all of the help in whatever form you provide it in to this team, because if you are here today, you do, whether you know it or not. So thank you. Thanks for coming. And I'm going to hand it off to Amir for some closing remarks.
I'm back. So now, the moment everyone's been waiting for. So thank everyone for coming out, traveling all this distance. And I'm going to keep it short because I already said this. But you come up, take some pictures with your family members, and thank you all very much.